My single favorite product used once per night for a week shows real results, and I'm going to tell you about it in this video. I'm Dr. Mike Nyack, a board-certified facial plastic surgeon from St. Louis, Missouri, and when I get asked what one product someone should start on a skincare regimen, I recommend Koji Pads. Koji Pads are used just at night, so they're incredibly easy to integrate into a skincare regimen, and they can also be a standalone product, meaning you wash your face, put the Koji Pads on, and you're done. No other moisturizers, no other products. If you just do that at nighttime, especially for guys that want to keep things minimal or people that are traveling and don't want to bring their entire arsenal with them, it makes a tremendous difference. Koji Pads are great for pigment, getting rid of brown spots, age spots, even on the backs of your hands. And they're really great for brightening by getting rid of the excess dead skin layer on the surface of the skin. The primary ingredient here is kojic acid. It comes from mushrooms. It's a natural product, and it works extremely well. One of the reasons I think the product works extremely well is the ingredients are kept separate in their most stable forms while they ship to you, and then you put it together before you start to use them, and they're at high potency that way. That being said, some people get a little bit stressed out by the concept of having to assemble a product at home. So I wanted to make this video for you so you could see exactly how to do it, and then also tell you what the most common mistake people make is when they put this together and how to salvage that too. The first component of the system is the actual pads. These pads are nice because they are dry, they have nothing on them, and we're going to populate them with the actual medication. But the pads themselves are specifically chosen because they have a little bit of a texture to them. This texture allows the medication to soak in, but it also helps you actually work the product into your skin, but it's not too abrasive. They're very specifically chosen to do exactly what they're meant to do. Now, to get the medication or the product onto the pads, we have the actual active ingredients and the carrier. And so one of the most common mistakes people will make is if they don't read the instructions or they don't watch this video, they'll just pour both of these on here and they'll have a wet pile of pads and a pile of crystals on top. I'm going to tell you at the end of this video how to salvage that. So don't worry, it's fixable. But I'd rather show you the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to open the bottle of solvent, of solution, and there'll be a little foil packet on the inside of yours. You'll have to peel that one off. You open the powder solution, or the powder of active ingredients, and you just plug this right in here. And you want to get all that powder into the bottle. Once you've added all the powder to the bottle, you want to shake this up and take a minute or two until all that precipitate has dissolved, until it's truly in solution. So I've been turning this upside down back and forth for maybe 30 seconds, and it's pretty much there. There's not really any precipitate left, and even if there was a grain or two, it wouldn't do anything bad at this point. So we are dissolved. It took less than a minute. Once we have this dissolved, all you need to do is pour it over the dry pads, and literally that is it. So if in your excitement you didn't put the powder into the liquid, dissolve it and pour it on there, and instead you dumped both on, you're looking at a pile of wet crystals, you have not ruined your premium product. I promise it's going to be fine. All you need to do is take these pads, divide them into a few sections, shuffle those sections, put them back, let them sit a little while, shuffle them again. Do that 5 or 6 times, maybe let it sit overnight, shuffle them one more time, and what's happening is the powder is dissolving into the liquid, it's being shifted through the different layers. The powder will literally come to an equilibration state. It will actually diffuse all the way through all the liquid, all the pads. You'll be totally fine. They'll work just as well as if you did it the way that I just showed you. But it's just nicer if you dissolve it first and pour it over the top. A pro tip that I have for you is as you work your way through the pads, you will notice that when you get to the bottom of the jar, the pads are super juicy because there's plenty of solution in here for the number of pads that we have. So if I were you, what I would do is after I used a pad on my face, well, before you throw it away, use it on the backs of your hands, use it on your décolleté. You can squeeze the last little bit of life out of it. But before you close your jar, flip your whole stack of pads over so that they're soaking back through again, and you don't end up using kind of dry pads in your first several, and then the most juicy ones just the last 5 days you use it. So flip it over, or even right before you use it, flip it over and use a damp one. So get the most out of that solution because it's super good stuff. The last thing I'll tell you is if you don't use these pads, we typically say it takes about a month to go through a cycle of these, maybe 2 months. If you set them on your counter and you forget about it and you come back 2-3 months later, you will notice they turn yellow. They're not ruined. They still work. They're just not as pleasing to look at. So if you want to see them not yellow over time, use them in the first month, maybe 2 months. You can also store them in the refrigerator. That slows it down. But if they do yellow on you because you didn't get around to using them, you forgot about it, and you brought them back out, they're still effective. They're not harmful. You can find Koji Pads and the other premium products I developed specifically for my facial plastic surgery practice at the product links below.